dudes.
Freaky looking. Good morning, video games. Welcome to Filthy Casuals, a podcast about video games, hosted by two very kind and extremely knowledgeable boys. Thank you for joining us. My name is Tommy Dasilo, and with me as always...
Unity coder extraordinaire. I'm lost in the sauce. It's Ben Vanel here. I've been fucking working on that thing I talked about last week.
Yeah, we're in the lab.
Yes.
And you just gave me a quick demo of what's been going on in here. And it's very impressive.
Oh, thank you. It's very simple, but I did make it all by myself.
Yeah.
It's going to be the next hit indie game.
It's
going to be Hades 2. It's going to be fucking Blueprints. I call it poker.
No, but you need to be if it's going to remain as a one-person project.
Yes.
It needs to take you like 15 years and
true.
of almost, if not completely, ruin the rest of your life.
Yeah,
so there needs to be by the time it comes out, there needs to be some sort of story about like partner leaves you or is working 8 jobs to support you.
Oh, yeah.
Or like you're living out of your car. There needs to be some sort of like triumph over adversity in the narrative of this game coming out.
I could start living in my car.
Yeah.
Like we have a place, we rent it, it's fine.
Yeah, the spare room.
Yeah.
The off-site spare room.
I can go live in the car, just maybe sleep in it, come here to work.
Yep, my man cave.
Yeah, yes. Yep. My man car. And we'll film a documentary at the same time. I guess this works. There'll be clips from this.
Yeah.
I'll film some private, diary videos.
Yes.
I
did my podcast the other day with someone who came into the studio that I rent, that I'm in with like 5 other people to record it. And it's rare that I record in that room.
Yeah.
Often in one of the meeting rooms in the building, but they were all booked and no one else was in the studio that day.
Oh, right,
so we just recorded in there. And this person came in and was like, you could probably sleep in here if you wanted to. And it's just, you really do learn a lot about where a person is at mentally in their head and what they... I don't even know necessarily if that was like a reflection of what she thought of me, like that my life seems like it's
on the verge.
It's always teetering on the brink of being on the skip. But then I sort of played my hand by like, we have discussed that in here.
Right.
And just revealed all this information about like... I think we were like early on when we moved in, I think it might have even been me who was like, yeah, I guess you could just like crash in here if you were like really burning the midnight oil. And my friend who's kind of spearheaded the whole operation was like, I feel like we really need to, that's a slippery slope. I feel like we really need to say like, maybe in an extreme, like you've had to do something in there until 4 a.m. and then you've got a meeting at 7 and you live on the other side of town.
Yeah.
Maybe then, but let's not get carried away.
Yeah, we'll start to, think like, well, I'm spending so much money on, renting a house.
Exactly.
Like, I'm already here all the time.
Yep.
And, do you guys have like a little bar fridge in there?
We do.
Because it's like...
We do. There's showers in the building.
Yeah.
It really is set up for you to live in.
Yes. But I think probably building code suggests otherwise.
Yeah.
But maybe I'll just set up a little cot in the study.
Yep.
Man, I do snore, so my partner's going to sleep better.
Yeah.
There's so many positives to this.
I'm excited to be watching the documentary about this game and be seeing a clip played in the documentary from this episode.
Oh, yeah.
Of like one of the first times we publicly talk about this game.
Yeah.
I'm excited to be listening back to this, seeing on the screen the little like waveform thing that they always have when they play like a clip from a podcast or radio interview.
Yeah. This is going to turn up in the, unfinished game developer dies before it's finished.
Yeah. Yeah, when you lose your mind and become the next Desi Freeman, I'll get to listen back to this in the true crime documentary.
Yeah. Ironically enough, they joked about it.
Yeah.
But,
But no,
exciting.
looking good. And a few people did comment after last week's episode that I was saying this to you before we started recording, like one of those things that you drop and then you find out that like, oh, a lot of people have this hobby.
Yeah.
But yeah, a few people have weighed in to go like, yeah, I've been, I dig around from time to time.
Yeah.
A few people have commented on the Playdate, the dev thing that they make readily available is quite intuitive and good to use.
So that's fun. I've played a few other games. I mentioned to you I played the demo of a game you've talked about.
Yes.
But I've honestly been doing a lot of that stuff. So
you're sort of on the other side of the industry now.
That's right.
Can't really busy myself with playing stuff now that I'm a coder.
Yeah. It's like when you're a comedian. You're like, I don't watch a lot of sitcoms.
Yep.
You know, I'm thinking about comedy too much.
Yep.
But I have played some games, and there's been some news.
There has been some news. So the big news this week, GTA 6 delayed once again. Was it going to be May last year?
May or March, something like
next year,
that?
sorry. Yeah, it was because it was meant initially. It was going to be like around now.
Yes.
This year.
Big holiday
which
release, yeah.
Is crazy to think about. There's been so many big games this year already.
Yeah.
Feels like a real landmark year, and it was almost going to be even bigger. Like we would be gearing up now to talking about GTA 6, or probably having already talked about it.
Yeah.
So then it got delayed to May next year, and now I think November, like the 27th or something.
Yeah, something like
2026. Not really worth getting the number into my head because it's over a year away.
Yeah, absolutely, and it could change again.
Could change again.
Then this happened last time. It really changed the release schedule for the year
For a lot of stuff.
So many people were like, well, there's a vacuum in that date, in that quarter, even like.
Luckily, that date is far enough away that most games don't really tend to put their release dates out too far in advance. I don't think there's anything too public that would have to be now going like reshuffling. I'm sure like internally there'd be some thoughts of like, oh shit, we were planning to get this out around then. Maybe we've got to try and see if we can get it out a bit earlier. Or I mean, it being out at like the end of the year is tough because like in November, if you were someone that was about to have something come out around then, you can't really go. By the time you now go, we'll hold off for a little bit, then you're getting too deep into December. So then all of a sudden it's like, well, now we got to wait till like end of Jan, 2027.
Yeah. Or you're struggling to bump it up to September. or something.
which is not really easy to do. Like,
And I think, thinking about that, the only things that maybe we would have the vaguest knowledge about would be an assumption that Nintendo might release another big game at the end of the year. We haven't had a couple of entries from a couple of big ones. Obviously, I don't think they're going to be ready for the next Zelda, but, that big Mario game.
That next Mario game, that would be something that they'd be putting out in later in the year.
Yeah.
You'd think, But it is... Because there's like been this ongoing meme for a long time now. Anytime GTA 6 gets delayed, of like, you got your wife pregnant and you thought you were going to be playing GTA on maternity leave or paternity leave, and now it's been delayed, so you'll have a child, and it's like. Thinking about a year from now, like we're talking about starting a family, like that is enough, literally enough time from now until then to have conceived and have a kid in the world. Thinking about where you'll be in your life when GTA 6 comes, on the surface of it, it's like, oh yeah, in a year's time. But when you really think about like the time commitment that something like a GTA 6 is.
Seriously.
You can't just slot it in anywhere. It's like, it really is like, I need to be able to lock in to really playing this game.
Yeah, and the discussion that's going to take over culture.
Right. It's like, it's weird to think about. Like, a year is enough time for your life to have changed enough that it's like a lot harder for people to factor in.
100%. People could be graduating from college and starting jobs.
Yep.
I would say, if you're thinking about having a child, wait at least a year. Because then you can have played GTA 6 all the way through, dipped in on the online even, then you conceive, then you got 9 months to maybe see what happens with some DLC and get it all done.
That does make sense.
And then the baby comes and you're like, I can focus on raising this child.
You want your kid to be born into a post-GTA 6 world.
Exactly right.
Yeah, you want your kid to be on like the ground floor of the hype starting up for GTA 7.
Yeah.
You don't want your kid to have like 3 months of the days between where...
No.
Well, because then the other thing that you start to think of is like... So by the end of next year, then we're really starting to get into pushing up against the next hardware generation.
Yes.
I think Sony have said that they consider... I'm trying to think what their timeline was, but I mean, this game will come out on PS5 and the current gen, but it would suggest that maybe it will be... I don't know. It does seem like it's going to be like pushing the limits of the hardware.
Yeah.
And maybe being developed with an eye to like, this will be like a day one PS6 like upgraded version ready to go.
Was that was what happened with 5? I think it came out towards the end of the
5 was
3,
tail end of 3, I think.
and then immediately it was like you can get this on the 4.
Yeah.
And eventually they remastered it. Did they even remaster it?
I think there's a there is a PS5 version of it.
Yeah.
So if you think about it in terms of like a Switch 1, Switch 2 kind of thing, where it almost feels like the way Rockstar make games too, like they are always like really pushing as hard as they can.
Yeah.
They maybe would be developing it with an eye to it being a more like a next gen game. That's effectively 2 console generations that have gone by without a new GTA on them, which is pretty insane.
Yeah, but also the previous one would have sold so many consoles just to play that, right?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
You got the end of that generation where people were like, well, I have to play this game. I'm getting, the Xbox, I'm getting the PS3, 4, whatever. Like this, again, it's like, well, you're not going to fucking play this on an old console.
It must be annoying too if you're a company that really likes to try and push things as far as you can. You get to this point where you've already been working on it for so long and having to delay it because it is harder and harder to technically achieve the things that you want. And in doing so, you're getting closer to the next generation of hardware. It must start to become a consideration of like, should we just fucking delay this even further and just make it for this and not have to worry about hamstringing ourselves and like beating our head against a wall trying to get these things to work?
Which, like, I guess the one great thing about GTA as a franchise is the complexity is like the scope. It's not the graphics. They're not going for like hyper realistic ray tracing. Like Red Dead Redemption 2, like fantastic, huge, massive game. Runs fine on a bunch of consoles.
Yeah.
And I think that comes down to probably what they're working on, which is like the real back-end shit like we talk about with worse developers who can't figure out how to like economically code something so it runs well. I think that's always been their thing. It's like we have to have, maybe not every building can be entered, but everything in this game has to work perfectly with each other.
I think I would say Rockstar probably do spend a fair bit of time dicking around with stuff that ultimately does not matter all that much. Like all of the horse testicle shit in Red Dead 2.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
I saw something, I didn't verify how true this is, but it was someone flying around in the map of Red Dead 2 and they're up in the sky and all the clouds are like uniquely rendered and hyper detailed, and there's like one bit where you're up in the clouds. It's like something that you just don't really see in the game at all,
right?
But has all this attention to detail put in it. I think that's their thing, is that they go hyper detail, hyper granular of every little thing, and it's fun. Like it is. It's going to be so strange when this game finally does come out, because it is such a long-running meme of how delayed this game is. And I sent you a thing the other day that was like, it's crazy that this is going to like the most hyped, talked about piece of media ever. And then we'll get our hands on it. It'll be like, this mission, go and chase down this guy who owes you money.
Yeah.
This mission, follow this car.
Yeah.
And then on the radio, the vaccine made my son gay. And it kind of does feel like that. Like, I'm looking forward to playing it, but I definitely don't have the like fever for it that a lot of people seem to. Like,
I mean,
it'll be fun, but I don't know. I'm kind of just expecting a bit more of the same. I'm not I don't know. I did love, and I know I'm fully aware that like a lot of people didn't love the story in 5. They didn't like the character of Michael. They found Franklin boring. Like most people were like, Trevor's really cool. Yeah. And he had some good missions. But I also, personally, I've always liked the fact that they're kind of like a pastiche of whatever genre it is. And if you're a fan of Heat or fucking Goodfellas or whatever, and that you see that sprinkled in through like 3 and then all the Scarface shit in Vice City, like, I don't know, it just, as a package, it does appeal to me, and I like being like, I can go into a bunch of clothing stores and dress my guy up like fucking Henry Hill. Yeah, I probably am most interested to see like how their storytelling and their joke writing has evolved in the last, God, how long are we going back now? Like over a decade, right? 2013 was 5. So yeah, so 13 years by the time this comes out. Like how they've rounded off those edges while still making it feel like a Grand Theft Auto game, and what does that even mean? And also in an incredibly overcrowded marketplace of open world style games is like, that's the other thing is like, if you're hanging out for the new GTA, there are a lot of other places to get that similar fix. Yeah. And it'll be interesting to see, like, can they still come along after this long and show that they are the ones that do this better than anyone. But I guess Red Dead 2 had a bit of a similar thing where it had been people had been waiting for that for such a long time. And then they did come along and sort of blow a lot of other stuff out of the water with their story and their characters and just how the missions feel to play.
That is true. Red Dead 2 as a story potentially is probably top 5 of all video game stories. Yeah. And the vibe is different. The tone is different for a GTA. And I mean, the other thing that I think is interesting with this one is one of the two Hauser brothers left the game. Yes. And was like, they were all very key in writing those stories, crafting those characters. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't even know how many people would still exist at that studio from GTA 5 because here is the other thing. In tandem with this being announced that it's been delayed, there was a post on a forum that was verified by the admin of the forum from someone working at Rockstar, posting about how a ton of people had been laid off essentially because of trying to unionize. So that coupled with the people, I think people increasingly understand when there are delays because they're we've seen things like Cyberpunk and games come out that need a little more time in the oven and people feel like ripped off and whatever. So I think people do get angry, but by and large, it's understood that ultimately a delay is for the best.
Yeah, the example in the positive was Red Dead 2.
Yeah,
it's it came out and it was an incredibly, deep and, like you say, the granular level of detail. Sure, maybe it didn't need to be there, but like I said, with all of the other games, everything fucking works. There's nothing that breaks the immersion other than it being a video game.
But when that's coupled with the press of it's delayed not because we need more time to make it as good as it can be. It's delayed because we now need to fill this huge gap in our workforce of people that we fired for trying to get essentially basic rights. Yeah, I think the story was that there was like a Discord where they were kind of organizing all this, and all these people got called into an HR meeting and been told like, oh yeah, we found these messages and you're now like, that's a violation and whatever. And it literally was just, or they were accused of like leaking stuff when they were like, we weren't talking about anything specific. We were just talking about getting basic union shit going on.
I think that was the line from Rockstar was private confidential information about our company and about the products that we work on was being shared in a open forum. Yeah. Which it wasn't even open necessarily, right? It was a private Discord server for those people, but that's, I'm sure, a technicality that they relied on.
Well, legally. And I guess they're lucky in that sense that like, hey, a year's probably long enough for people to forget, the bad blood of the bad press of this company doing quite dodgy shit. But yeah, I don't know. Do you think we see another delay of this?
I mean, it's no, I don't think so.
I thought after that last one that I felt like that was pretty locked in. Yeah. Because I had a date for it, right?
Yeah.
Because when it was meant to be this year.
May 26 or something like that.
Yeah. Because when it was meant to be this year, I don't think it had been dated yet.
Right.
And then before they put that in, they were like, hey, we're moving it to next year, but it's May. And it's like, okay, well now.
And it's coming out on this day.
Once there's a specific day, it's like, okay, obviously a lot of things are starting to have to churn in the background that it's like very hard to pull out from there. But yeah, I don't know. I still feel like there could be one more delay.
They could be. But I figure, given that it's a year from now.
Yeah.
If you can't finish it in 12 months, then you can't finish it.
It is crazy to think that, I mean, what ultimately ended up being a full year delay.
Yeah.
it just goes to show they were out of their minds to think that they could have it done by this time. Like, they were so off base.
Yeah.
Even at that juncture where they announced that they were moving it to May of next year is like, that seems conservative if what you actually needed was another, like, 6 months beyond that.
And I wonder, don't know if this came up in the Discord server, if it was always going to be a year from now. If it was not going to be, it was never going to be.
Yeah, they knew that they were. Yeah.
They were buying some time and they were buying some goodwill by being like, yeah, and here's the release date.
Yeah.
Which, blows up in your face when you delay it again. But surely they know. Or, of course, shit could have come up that has changed the scope of the game, which...
Yeah, I did see a thing
would be strange, right? Like, they've been working on it for such a long time to be like, no, we're actually adding this thing.
Yeah, I wonder. I would say that it is a lot of technical stuff that they would be wanting to do. A lot of very granular attention to detail.
And bug fixing and all, like I said.
Yeah, and the more stuff you do like that, the more... Like, it really is crazy how much, and you would know this, how much you add one thing in that is seemingly unrelated to another thing.
Yes.
And just its mere presence throws the whole thing off, and then something on the other side of the map is now not functioning properly, even though it is not linked to that other thing in literally any way.
Yeah.
But just something in the back end, it's like the chain of the link being altered.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can speak to this directly.
As being in the biz.
As a professional amateur games developer.
Yeah.
100%. And you spend a full day going in circles being like...
And there's seemingly no reason why.
Yeah.
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 What they should do is probably just reload their save state of their game from yesterday.
I did see a thing online that they were... there was... I don't know if this was like a leak or a rumor or something, but... There was going to be a new trailer coming out soon, if not this week, to sort of counteract the delay, which would make sense. Like, hey, we've pushed it back, but here's another look at it. Because we're still seeing, this is the crazy thing, we're still seeing so little of this game.
Yeah, we saw...
There's like one story trailer.
Yeah, exactly.
There's been one teaser, one with a bit more detail... And that's kind of it.
I think that's it, yeah. And that second one that we got was like very cinematic, but it was all apparently in engine, which was very impressive. That did look like graphically very advanced.
There was all that stuff that people were pointing out of like, no wonder this has been taking so long, because there's a thing where you see he's got like a... picking up like a 6-pack of beer, and the like liquid in all the drinks is all animated individually. All these things that they get off on doing as lifelike as possible. Yeah. Which, if you're the person that's in that office that's pulling in 16-hour days, and then you're having a discussion about a union, and then you get fired as a result. Yeah. Of like being like, hey, I think this is not really cool to keep us chained up here for this long.
And I mean, there's always the thing with games that comes out after the fact of like, oh, we did have a plot line about, X event, and then it happened in real life, and we thought it was in poor taste, and we removed
interesting. I hadn't even thought of that. Yeah, I hadn't thought of that at all. They're definitely...
YouTuber gets assassinated. Yeah. Insurrection. Like, there are things that they could foreseeably have included that.
That's a really good point. That is not out of the realm of possibility at all.
Yeah. Which it's like, don't do that silly satire as much.
Right.
Do a cool crime.
Do nice satire.
Do a cool crime story that is like original and interesting,
I
don't know. Maybe that's something that'll come out.
It's funny because they definitely... they've taken their swipes at things in the past.
Yes.
But they also are a big enough media property that like there would be so many people that are into it under the umbrella of all different political persuasions.
For sure.
That, you can't... I wonder, it would be interesting to know, like, when they sit down and the sort of stuff they want to talk about and satirize, like, it is a thing that would be played by MAGA people and is sort of loved by everyone. So, like, can they afford to sit down and have a storyline where they go like, we're going to have like this character who's the president and he's a fucking moron, and we're going to show these people as being like this and like that, and
we always thought that South Park was immune to that kind of thing. They were very much like, we'll take a swipe at everyone.
They take a swipe at everyone,
therefore,
yeah.
no one can get mad. But they've got into trouble.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just pure speculation, but I can't wait for it to come out and for the Jason Shrek Bloomberg behind the scenes articles to accompany it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing just even a new trailer, getting a little more look at it.
Yeah. Get the fucking juices flowing.
Oh.
Rockstar.
I've been speaking of getting the juices flowing.
Oh yeah.
Something that got my juices flowing was the idea of there being a Simpsons video game in 2025.
Yeah. Yeah, we talked about this very recently on the Special Zone, the entire history of Simpsons video games, and we came to the conclusion that there's maybe 3 good ones.
Yeah, the Hit and Run is the one that people are always clamoring for a remake of.
Yep.
And I did see a couple of people online talking about how this Fortnite Simpsons crossover is kind of the closest thing to that.
Right.
So I dipped in. I downloaded Fortnite on my Switch 2.
Nice. The only way to play.
The only way to play it. It's kind of a god-awful experience going into it fresh now.
Right.
If you don't really know what it is,
Yes.
there's no part of the menu when you load it up for the first time that is like, hey, this is what Fortnite is.
Right.
This is how you get this stuff.
Yep.
This is how you load up this stuff.
Yep.
This is what these modes all are. It really does presume that you've played 500 hours of it,
Right.
even if it knows for a fact that this is the first time that you've logged in,
Yeah.
which it does because you have to log in to do anything on it.
Yes.
So I went in on this Simpsons mode. I did the no build version of it.
Right.
So if you're unfamiliar, there's currently a timed Simpsons themed map in Fortnite where you're running around Springfield, and for like 1,000 V-Bucks or whatever, you can get a pack as well where you can get all the characters.
Right.
Not all the characters, but you can get like Homer, Marge, Bart, and maybe Flanders.
Okay.
I think that might be it. Maybe there's 1 or 2 others. I don't know. But
No Lisa? No Maggie?
No Lisa and Maggie.
I mean, Maggie's fair enough. It's a small character, but
Yeah.
interesting because, I mean, there's a lot of characters in The Simpsons.
I would say, why not make it for that $15? Give you access to like every single character that exists in The Simpsons.
Yeah.
It was so cool in the South Park game on the 64 how you could play as like, and the show had only been around for like 2 years or something at that point, but you could play as like Uncle Jimbo and
Yes.
Big Gay Al and all
Yes.
these like they tried to do a thing early on where they were like, here's all these like weird town residents.
Yeah.
And in a video game coming along where it was like, yeah, you can play as all these freaks. You can play as Garrison. You can play as Mackie.
Yeah.
It was so much fun to be able to run around as them. So I don't know if they opened this up a bit and you could play as like Bumblebee Man and all that
Right.
kind of shit would be cool. But it is cool. The map is great.
Right.
It is a really neat 3D cel-shaded representation of Springfield.
Fuck yeah.
So you don't have to pay anything to play the map.
Right,
The map
right.
is just like what Fortnite is now when you log on.
Yep.
But yeah, it's the characters that you have to pay for, which it does kind of suck to be running around Springfield as this like generic ass Fortnite avatar character that looks like shit and is kind of completely at odds with all of the environmental stuff that you're doing. And
At least make it animated characters only.
yeah, exactly.
Put that barrier
Make
on
it
it.
Fox's animation domination only.
Yes.
I want Bob's Burgers. I want Universal Basic Guys, whatever that fucking new show is.
American Dad.
I
want to be the alien. Roger?
Yeah, Roger.
Yeah.
It is cool running around in Springfield.
Is there music? Is the theme playing in the background?
The beginning of the theme plays at like the beginning,
Right.
Like when you're
dropping in.
When you're dropping in,
Yeah, okay.
And then you're running around and there's no music, and there's also, as far as I could tell, and from clips I've seen, there's no voice acting in it.
Right,
So it's that
right.
weird thing where you have these licensed characters, but it's like it's very stilted and plain and
If you're doing voice chat, everyone should have to do an impression.
Right. Or there should be like a voice modulator thing. Surely there's an AI thing that can just turn you into Homer.
Yes. Yeah, like the Darth Vader thing.
Yeah, exactly.
The Darth Vader microphone.
That technology must exist.
It definitely does.
Yeah. You can, because you can do text to voice and have it be yeah. You can just get an AI program to do like a Homer.
Yeah. I'm going to shoot you, Marge.
Homie.
We just turned it on then for people listening at home. Yeah.
That wasn't us doing it.
Nah.
That's how good the tech is.
It's real time.
So running around in Springfield is cool. The worst thing about it is that it's Fortnite.
Yeah.
It's like, I kept being like, I wish this just didn't have... I wish I wasn't, like, holding this dumb pickaxe and having it, like, all of the sounds that go off that are all the, like, Fortnite-y kind of noises that I vaguely remember from, like, the very little bit of it that we did for some videos in lockdown. I'm just, I know that people love it, and it's cool that, for a lot of, like, kids especially, it's their entry into video games, and I think that's cool. And I mean, I would have loved it when I was a kid, like just the fact that all these cool new characters, like the day that I got onto it, it was like the last day that you could get the K-pop Demon Hunters characters. Right. I was like, wow, the turnaround on this shit is so quick now.
Yeah.
That is cool, but it just really made me go, why isn't there some... It's like one of the biggest media properties on Earth, and it's owned by now one of the biggest companies on Earth.
Yes.
Why aren't they throwing money at some great developer to make a dedicated online... I mean, the fact that I've seen so many people posting about this, even though The Simpsons occupies, like, it's such... cringe millennial epicenter of all of the personalities of anyone our age.
Yes.
But it clearly still is continuing to resonate with younger audiences. Otherwise, they wouldn't still be making it. Like,
for sure. And
it being in something that is so popular with kids and having a whole life there speaks to the continued popularity of it.
And I mean, like, the one thing I thought was if, like, young kids aren't into The Simpsons and they've got that movie coming out, then... absolutely a brilliant marketing decision to put it in Fortnite because now you've got everyone from, fucking 6 years old up.
Yeah, I wonder if there'll be a thing where they talk at any point about... I'd be interested to know, like, has this done anything for the numbers of it on, like, Disney Plus?
Yeah.
Like, if they've suddenly seen, like, a bit of a spike of little kid... Because, like, that's the thing. Like, you can choose to buy the character skins, but the actual map is just... You could be 11 playing Fortnite and have never really interacted with much Simpsons at all. And hilariously, maybe this is the thing that gets you in.
Absolutely. I think that's definitely part of the strategy.
Becoming monorail pilled by Fortnite.
I think that's definitely part of it. Like, they probably wouldn't have done it if there wasn't the movie coming up. But also fucking, even if they get Epic to develop a Simpsons game, just like, give us something new. Yeah. Give us fucking GTA Springfield. Like...
Yeah, which is what Hit and Run was, which is why people are like... Because you can get, like, in the pack that you buy... You get, like, the Simpsons car. I think you can also get the, like, fucked up looking car that Homer designs for his brother in, like, season 1 or 2 or whatever it is with the, like, domes in it and the La Cucaracha horn. And, I mean, all the, like, Bart has, like, a special skateboard and some of the weapons are special things. Like, there's so much... I mean, there's, like... What is it? 30... No. Is it 40... Coming up on 40 years of The Simpsons? Wait, when did it start? 89. Sorry, 89.
Yeah.
So, I mean, 30-something years of things to pull from.
Yeah.
Like, basically any form of video game that you want to make, you can find some justification. You can find something within the Simpsons world to justify pretty much any game design idea that you have.
Exactly. Which is why it's a shame that they put it into Fortnite.
Yeah.
It's like, at least do a custom... Like, there's so many things in Fortnite that are, like... curated and customized and like limited time game modes, like fucking do a monster truck rally, like do it. There's so many things.
And I get that they have their ways that Fortnite runs that they kind of have to adhere to, but at the same time this feels like already it's like such a heightened version of their special events things that they do. It's not just a a parachute that looks like this and a character that looks like this.
Right.
It's like a whole map, and there's like all these themed storyline kind of events that are changing every week within it. So in that case, go against the grain of how you normally do it and have some music playing as you're running around, and have the characters have their voices. Like, that's the charm of it. Like, it's of course it's the look of it, but you're already kind of betraying the look of it by having these weird shotguns and also having Goku running around in Springfield and all this kind of stuff. So like, So yeah, I don't know. I was excited to go in. I was like, maybe I'll just play Fortnite flat out for this month while it's The Simpsons,
right?
And then that'll be it. But even just within one round, I was like, no, it's still Fortnite.
It's still Fortnite.
I wish it was more Simpsons. I wish it was more ticked in the side of The Simpsons. But yeah,
man, because after we did that episode, I like looked into. Was it Tap Out or Tapped Out? Tap Out?
Tapped Out.
Tapped Out, which people are maintaining the servers. You know, you can still play that even though it's, not officially available anymore.
That's the mobile game that's like
the SimCity kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which looks fucking awesome.
It was cool, but it was really early days of people starting to turn on the microtransaction kind of stuff. You've done everything you can do now for 24 hours, or you can pay $5 and speed that clock up.
Which I have to assume, I didn't actually end up installing it, but like that would all be removed from the
it must be
the abandonware version. But there was something else I saw. I don't remember if this had been announced, revealed, or we've even discussed it, but the Metroid Prime 4 Switch 2 version trailer got uploaded a few days ago.
Oh yeah.
Which it just looks like it runs perfectly. It
looks
very fluid.
Yeah.
It still does not have a lot of environmental detail. But, particle effects, the 60 frames per second, like, it looks like it's going to run like butter.
I think people are really thinking, like, what is happening with this game? It has a date, but they're not really talking about it all that much.
No.
Like, it's out in...
two Kirby Air Riders.
2-hour-long Kirby Air Riders directs. And Metroid Prime 4 Beyond is out in a month.
Yeah.
And that you would think now would be the time for like a direct dedicated to it. I'm most interested in how that game will perform on the Switch one.
Yeah.
But I played a bit of the Kirby Air Riders global test ride thing yesterday. It was at it's like the same time everywhere in the world. So there's another one of them next weekend that's the same times, and there's one block that is like I think like 11 a.m. until 5 p.m. on Sunday.
Oh yeah,
which is kind of the best one for us. There's like another one that's Saturday at 7 p.m. until 2 a.m. and kind of all these weird times. I'd forgotten about it until about 10 to 5, so I was able to get like 3 races in of just the normal mode. Didn't get time to do a city trial, so I'll try that for next weekend. But
so will I was not on my radar.
Fun.
Fuck yeah.
I really enjoyed how chaotic it is.
Yeah.
Very simple to, figure out, but even just mixing up the machines and characters that I was using in each round, all of them felt so different.
Right.
So just fucking around with it and getting a handle on what's your favorite combo of racer and vehicle to use, and then all of the little special attack things that you're absorbing from enemies when you're going around the track, and the strategy of how you like break around the corners and stuff and use your boosts. It looks great. It runs really smooth. I'm fascinated to see how it gets received.
Yeah,
it really does seem so like chaotic and not immediate, and really one to need to commit a lot of time to, and really, really want to play a lot of and get good at. I have no idea whether it's going to feel like it's a bit too light on, because the main mode that they are really focusing on, that city trial thing, I mean, it's a weird one to even get a sequel, because the first one was not received very well when it came out, and sort of got this cult following. So it's not like there are people in the world that are like, oh, cool, a new Kirby Air Riders. But the rest of the world is like, yeah, that first one's kind of, there wasn't much in it. And it doesn't look like there's much more in this. There's like a few more tracks and races and stuff, but it's not to the level of like a Mario Kart world where you've got like, 8 Grand Prix and all these different tracks. It's like, I think there's a total of like 12 tracks or something in the
Yeah,
game.
right.
Like, I don't know. I have no idea which way it's going to receive, but I'm really looking forward to playing more of it.
Yeah, and I mean, we know Sakurai is a fucking fantastic developer who only releases stuff that at least he's super passionate about.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like it's going to be broken or buggy or shitty. It's going to be a very, like you say, something that appeals potentially to a niche audience a lot.
Yep.
But yeah, I if we weren't doing this show, I think I probably would have gone, oh, Kirby racing game? I won't play that.
Yeah.
Like, looks cool, but I'll play Mario Kart. But yeah, fascinated to see how much I enjoyed. I'll do the test ride next weekend as well, because I have been pretty taken in by the directs. Like, it does look really cool, and I guess that's why probably they are so exhaustive with them, because it's like, no, we really want to convince people, like, this is a good game. There's a lot to do.
Yeah, on the surface of it, it looks like there's not a lot in it. And even in the direct, he's like, he was in the first one when he's showing off the racing, and then he's like, but who really gives a fuck about the racing? The thing that everyone cares about is the city trial mode. But then playing the racing, I was like, I really like the racing.
Sure. Unfortunately, we added a second button.
Yeah.
We made it even more complex, but yeah, I don't know. Fascinated to see how it goes, because I mean, Nintendo's had a great year. We love World, we love Bonanza, and they don't necessarily need a big hit at the end of the year, but yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Before I get into the big thing that I've been playing this week.
Well, you're speaking of Nintendo, yes.
Yeah. What have you been dabbling in?
Well, I don't know why it took me this long to get around to it, because this game is fucking crack to me. But I finally played the demo of Dogpile, and it is so good.
Yeah, it rules.
It is like, and we've talked about this a lot, this sort of lack of originality in game format across the industry, and the fact that it doesn't really seem to matter. It's not like a movie taking another movie's plot. It's more like using the same camera, I guess.
Yep.
It is so similar to Watermelon Game.
Yeah.
But
I guess it's got more of like the roguelite kind of elements of like the little things that pop up. It's like, it often is enough with games to go like this, but just one more little thing laid on top.
Fortunately, they added a second button.
Yes.
So yeah, if you haven't played this, and like me, you just are thinking of Watermelon Game but with dogs, there is extra stuff to it. So rather than randomly generating a new thing to drop in each time, like it does in Suika Game, you basically have a deck. And you'll be dealt usually 3 cards.
Yeah, you get to choose what you're dropping in.
Yes.
Is one of the main differences.
You choose out of the 3 or so. You can, get modifiers to that. You can get extra cards. You can get less cards if you get a punishment. And you're still trying to keep everything under the top of the arena.
Yep.
But you're also trying to hit a total goal of bones, which you get varying amounts of every time you merge 2 dogs together. And so you're trying to reach that goal. You also have on the right, it has like a store, like a roguelike game, where you can add cards to your deck, but also like modifiers, permanent buffs.
Yep.
So you can see your little buffs on the right-hand side. And it kind of, once you go through your deck and it reshuffles it, I think not every time, but there'll be a punishment if you haven't got that bones total.
Yes.
And so it'll add not a permanent nerf usually. Usually it's like for the next hand until you shuffle, you can't merge dogs.
Yeah.
Or, all dogs lose their positive traits or
it'll attach like to a certain type, like these dogs are like run away from other dogs, which means that it's basically impossible to merge them because it's kind of a cool effect. You drop it in and it just goes flying towards the other side of the screen.
Yeah. Timid, the timid trait. And so along with that, and along with just adding more types of dogs to your hand, you can add positive traits to your cards, and some of them are like friendly. So that type of card, that specific card, that dog will always be attracted to its same kind, so that will jump across the screen to merge.
Yeah.
I think all of the little complexities they've added are really, really fun.
Yeah.
It's not a simple a case of reskinning Watermelon Game. And even if it was, the reskinning looks fucking awesome. The
Yeah, it's great art
cartoon
direction.
style is fantastic.
Yeah, it just is one of those really nice organic things of like the joy of Watermelon Game is how simplistic it is that you can put it in front of anyone and they'll pick it up straight away. And that dopamine hit of like when the things merge.
Yeah.
But it's just someone who's looked at that and gone, yeah, what if you did build this out with a bit more complexity? Like, what would that look like? And would that be satisfying? And it is, it's still got that core that is like the really fulfilling thing of watching yourself build up this bigger and bigger version of a thing in the bottom of the screen, but with, kind of more strategy to it. Because there is strategy in where you drop things in Watermelon Game and you kind of have to really be aware of like the physics of it and everything, but this has also got you're choosing what you're going to drop and what you're going to apply to what. And
it's really, really good. I've just kept playing the demo over and over.
Yeah, does it have a release date yet? I don't know if it does.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I kind of was hoping it had already come out because I know you played the demo a month ago or something. Now
I'm just going to check. I feel like it's maybe not been dated. Well, the AI overview, as you would expect, is completely useless.
Sure.
That depends on which product you're referring to. Some examples include the search engine launched in 1996, a puzzle game released on January 30, 2018, a mobile game released in April 2020, and a game demo released on September 30, 2025. A different unreleased game with the same name has a coming soon status for its full release, but its demo is currently available.
But that's probably...
That's it. That last one is it.
Yeah, that is it. Yeah. God, I hate AI.
I hate it. I hate it so much. No date yet, but it does seem like from that demo, like it's all cracking along pretty nicely.
Yeah, I guess they want to fucking get their press cycle going and get people interested.
Yeah, fine tune the. Yeah. I'm sure it's another thing where you play test and you realize this nerf or buff is like a little unfair or makes
absolutely
it a bit too easy and all the physics stuff.
Yeah, because
great game.
Weirdly, it does have like a bug report thing that'll come up. It's come up when I haven't seen any bugs.
What do you mean?
Like I would just be playing the game and I'll drop a little dog in and then basically an error message will come up and be like, oh, would you like to report this bug?
Sure.
And it's like I don't think there was a bug.
Right.
There's a bug with the bug report screen.
They're nervous around you because they know that you're the game can tell you're a fellow game dev.
Oh, yeah, maybe they're just reaching out.
I'm so sorry, you would have, of course you would have noticed that.
Yeah. Any feedback on anything you've noticed so far?
Senpai, please.
But it is like front and center, so if people are playing the demo, they are probably reporting stuff and they're taking that feedback on, like you say, they're using that as like play testing and
give the demo a go.
It's great. It's on Steam. Is it on anything else? I'm not sure.
I think only Steam. I haven't seen it on any other stores. Yeah.
But yeah, really fucking fun Aussie game.
Yep.
And that's really important.
Have you been playing anything else?
I've continued to play Ghost of Yotei.
Yep. Post finishing it.
Absolutely.
This cunt loves it.
I fucking do love it. It's so fun. There's this great quest line. I don't know if you got into it where...
Quest love?
Yeah. Did you get into quest love? There's a quest line where you're dueling swordsmen.
Yep.
And you're building up to essentially dueling the master of all swordsmen.
Okay.
And... That's what it leads up to. You play this, you do this big final duel on top of the mountain, and he's really, really fucking hard to beat.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm just banging. Like, I don't know if you ever had this during the game. I failed the duel so many times and died that I think it's after like 10 or so, it starts saying like, would you like to try this again or quit attempting this quest?
Oh no.
He's really, really difficult.
Yeah, okay.
So I want to work up to that, but there's so many like side quests still to go.
Yeah.
There's so many like enemy encampments to clear out. There's abilities to get. I haven't got all the armor. I haven't got all the weapon kits. Like I really am just enjoying. It's a real comfort play at this point.
That reminds me, I need to do a corrections corner.
Oh, yeah.
After last week when I was saying that in Ball X Pit, if if you are good enough on a run to get up to a boss, you will probably end up quite easily beating the boss. I then went home and picked it up straight away and made it to a boss and died when the boss had a fraction of health left.
Fuck.
Got greedy and went, I'm getting pretty close to dying here, but I'm fine. Took a hit and just thought that was very funny because I maybe an hour before had been saying, I was like, yep, this is what I deserve.
Yeah, it's actually really easy.
Yep.
Yeah. I also played some more Ball X Pit, or I think it is just called Ball Pit. I think the dev said it's like an anime title. You don't say the X. It's fucking so good. I really, really enjoy that game.
Yep.
What if Ball Pit had dogs? That's going to be my first game. That's going to be my first game that I release.
Yeah, I wonder if you could ever have like a game like Dogpile, which is what if Watermelon Game was a bit more complicated. But then someone plays Dogpile, Dog X Pile.
Yeah.
And they're not familiar at all with Watermelon Game. And they're like, you know what? What if you took all these fucking cards and shit out and just made it like random? You only get one.
Yep.
And they end up getting in trouble for ripping off the other game purely because they were not aware of its origins.
Yeah, what if instead of dogs it was fruit? Like, you know. Like, like I like Fruit Ninja, so maybe that, that could be. But yeah, Ball Pit, another great game that just tweaks an existing formula. But yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think. I was going to play, and I definitely will play this before next episode. The Seance of Blake Manor.
Ooh,
a detective game, indie game. It's only got like 500 reviews on Steam. Like, I think it's quite new. There is a demo for it as well. But I've heard very good things.
Okay,
so I'm going to get around to that for next week. But you've been playing basically a fucking big ass AAA release this week.
I have. I've been playing Hyrule Warriors. Age of Imprisonment.
Nice.
Which is the second Legend of Zelda game to come along in the space of a year that Link is not in.
Yeah.
I mean, Link is in Echoes of Wisdom, but not really.
He is not the main character.
Yeah.
And you can't actually play as him. He's an ability you have.
He's like a ghost kind of thing.
Yeah.
And this he's just not in at all. There's at least with Echoes of Wisdom, they kind of found a way to reverse engineer you sort of being able to do a little bit of Link-esque stuff in there.
Yes.
But in this, because of what the setup is, there is no way of getting him in there.
Yeah.
Although they do have a new character that is kind of a surrogate for the sort of stuff that he does.
Okay, but you mainly play as Zelda, right?
Yeah, so this game is set before, it's a Tears of the Kingdom prequel.
Yep.
And in that game they talk about the imprisoning war with Ganon, and this game is what has happened there. So Zelda turns up, she's gone back in time. You see her meeting Rauru, the king, the first king of Hyrule, and his wife Sonia, and they basically take her under their wing. You see Ganon kind of rising to power, taking over Hyrule, and this is another Warriors game. This is a really a particular set of conditions that you have to meet in order to enjoy this game. You have to have played Tears of the Kingdom and be into it and be into the story from it and the mechanics from it.
Yep.
And you also need to be interested in seeing more of that world. And you also need to enjoy the format of the Warriors games.
Right.
You have to be really comfortable with playing a Zelda game with all of the Zelda polish and sound effects and graphics and settings and characters, but be comfortable about it not really having any of the stuff that you know from what it feels like to play a Zelda game.
Yeah.
Which is a quite particular set of conditions that I happen to meet.
Well, yes. Yeah, and because I've played a few of the Warriors games, and I really like Persona 5 Strikers.
Yep.
But I tried to play the latest Dynasty Warriors and did not like it at all. Found it very confusing and overwhelming.
Yeah, I played a little bit of it. I think I sit in because again, there's such a weird set of people that this game is being made for, because there are people who just love people that love the Warriors franchise.
Yep.
And I've seen a lot of reviews of this game that talk about it as an example of a Warriors game, which it's kind of a weird one because I'd say like any of the spin-offs that they do, they're more like that. They're more about like that franchise that they're in than they are about being like the Warriors format. Like, it's hard to imagine. I'm sure there are people like this out there, but it's quite hard to imagine someone who's like, I just play all the Warriors games, never played any Persona 5, but I played and loved Strikers, never touched a single fucking Zelda game in my life, but I've played all of the Hyrule Warriors games. Just loving the format of these Warriors games enough that you will play whatever skin it has on top of it.
Because it feels like, from my limited experience, that the ones that are the adaptations of other franchises, they do simplify the combat. They take away a bit of that complexity that I found in the actual Warriors games. There's like more combos. They're a bit more difficult. It feels like potentially the spin-offs are a bit more friendly to newbies.
I'd say that's fair. I think so. Yeah, I think they do feel like they're making them more for fans of that franchise that they're under.
Yeah,
because they probably strip away a little bit of the Warriors complexity, but in its place they add in all this stuff that is like purely from those games. So like Persona had all of like the elemental stuff, and you could summon the little personas and all that kind of stuff.
The all-out
like
attacks
all that
and
stuff was So all that kind of stuff was threaded in, and then the Zelda ones have had the Hyrule map, and you're not like, it's not open world, you're not free roaming around, but you're doing a lot of the map stuff and a lot of like the mechanic stuff that is from that specific game that it's like the follow-on from. So in this one, you're using heaps of the Zonai construction stuff. But you're not like taking time out and like building them with assembling things, but you're finding those devices like the the flame emitter and the like ice emitter and the cannon and all that stuff. And you can equip them. So you end up with this menu that's got your special moves and then all of these Zonai devices that you can like equip to any of the shortcut buttons. So you'll have your special moves that are on a cooldown, but then you'll also have, your flamethrower or whatever it is that is being powered by the Zonai batteries that you have to like pick up extra ones throughout the world to recharge. Or you can do stuff at camps to get yourself more like the battery use is more effective and all that kind of stuff. And you've got a character, Minoru, who is like a kind of scientist character who's like research. I think she shows up in flashbacks in Tears of the Kingdom. But she's researching all the Zonai device and construct stuff, and all of her attacks are like automatically summoning up like a fucking torture wagon thing to fall down from the sky. So seeing like I think that like this is what I loved about Age of Calamity. It's just such a fun way that they have of taking all of this mechanic stuff that is like really fun and satisfying in the context of the game that it's from, and just giving you a completely different context to play around it in. Like if you've fucked around in Tears of the Kingdom a lot and built stuff, the satisfaction of just having a character where you just push 3 buttons and then they summon up the most like outrageous fucking bomby knocker thing is really cool. It is like the best version of like a weird side kind of sequel, prequel, follow-on kind of thing. And
then because I've seen a lot of reviews and stuff of it, and the visuals are fantastic. Like and that's something they do seem extremely careful to implement properly. Like
you've got constant every enemy has like a stagger gauge thing that you can wear down, and then when you get that worn down, you've got like your weak point smash, which is like a very cinematic short cut scene of like a very over the top attack that you'll do. You've also got your special meter that you're building up that is its own separate version of that. You've also got your sync attacks that again, so like they're just like constant things where the action is cutting to a little miniature movie that's like very well animated, very kinetic, over the top stuff is always happening. Like when you get the what are the names of the fish people? I forget. Anyway, when you get Zora, yeah. When you get the Zora character, their special is like some fucking huge typhoon that's coming out of the ground. It's all stuff like that.
Fuck yeah.
And yeah, it looks and runs great. I kind of had forgotten, like this is really only the like third Switch 2 exclusive. Like Pokemon ran a lot better, but it was still a Switch 1 game as well.
Yep.
Running on increased hardware. But yeah, this is after Mario Kart and Donkey Kong, this is only the third first party Switch 2 exclusive game. And I loved the first one of these.
Yeah.
Or the Age of Calamity. I played it through to the end. It ran very poorly. Not enough for me to dip out of it. But I would say this format of game of any that ran poorly on the Switch 1, this is probably the one that was like maybe the most affected.
Right.
Because it's so much is happening. It's already so much is happening on the screen.
Yeah.
That when that frame rate is really slowing down and you're just getting lost in the action, like it has to be smooth. And just noticing like this one, I kind of made my peace with that in the last one and was just kind of like, you get used to it and it's fine. But this just feels like a completely different game because it's like those big over the top moments. Like there's no slowdown in them.
Fuck yeah.
You just have context for everything that's happening all the time. It was always the thing in the last one of like you'd do one of those special moves and it would be like things would just kind of grind to a halt.
Right.
And I was a bit worried with this one, it being a sequel that because it was on the increased hardware, that therefore they would do more with it and it would have kind of a lot of the same problems as the previous one. But yeah, it runs at a really consistent 60. I think there's like a Digital Foundry thing where it drops into the 50s from time to time, but nothing that I've noticed. Because
the first one was developed for the Switch 1.
Yeah.
And this one was developed for the Switch 2. So yes, like hypothetically, there shouldn't have been a reason that it ran poorly on the Switch 1.
Yeah.
I guess they were just a bit ambitious.
I have a feeling that perhaps this started off as a Switch 1 game and they just went... Because, I reckon I don't think that this one is really doing anything more than the first one was.
Right.
So I reckon you would be able to run this on a Switch 1 at the same level to what the last one was, which was not great.
Right.
But anyway, it all looks and runs great. It feels really fun to play, and it's like the storyline stuff of just seeing this war kind of developing is cool and interesting. I'm really into it. I would say so far there hasn't been really any crazy like twists and turns in the story or anything like that. But it's interesting. It's not something that the Zelda games, they have their bits of story, but they're typically not going. The story is more just like getting you from here to here to here to here.
Yeah.
It's not like there's these like big cut scenes, and this is like you're on the battlefield doing basically fighting a war.
Yeah.
And then there are these like long cutscenes in between it that are setting up more of like who these characters are and how they all interact and
like everything from Breath of the Wild through the Age of Calamity, Tears of the Kingdom, and this, it's like it's all connected.
Yeah.
It's all pretty seamless. Like it hasn't had the weird timeline issues previously.
Well, this is the weird thing about this one is that Calamity was like a hypothetical. Calamity was like a weird... they like go back in time and it's like, what if this happened differently?
Oh, interesting.
So it is kind of a weird, like...
A little outlier kind of.
Even though it is still... Like there's a setup for like why you're seeing this alternate version,
and it's like that is tied into Breath of the Wild.
Yeah. The whole point of it was that it does link into all of that stuff.
Yeah.
But this is, oh my god! But this is like direct. Like there's a cutscene in this that you see in Tears of the Kingdom that's like a bit of a twist in the story of like when you go back and you see Zelda and what's happening with her. You probably know the bit I'm talking about. But I also it's got the same thing that Age of Calamity has, where for whatever reason they have a lot of the characters that you see in the game, but this one even more so, they have to bring in all these people that you don't know and you don't see in that game, and they are a version of like a Zora or a Goron or something, so you basically get who they are, but they are a lot of like new people. And so this is the craziest thing about this game, and I don't know, maybe skip ahead. I wouldn't say this is like a story spoiler or anything. This has been in some reviews.
Okay.
So I knew this going in, but it is kind of pretty crazy that this is in here. So there's like two characters that you get early on that are sort of you unlock in tandem and they're friends. One of them is a little Korok who's talking to you, who talks and is like a real little wise ass.
Yeah.
And he has a friend who's a construct who is basically is sort of the Link stand-in.
Right.
Sort of looks kind of similar. Is sort of the machine with the kind of like glowing bits in between him.
Yeah.
Wields a sword, does all that stuff. That's the kind of the way that they get in a character who sort of fulfills all that. But they're like a little double act. The construct doesn't talk and he's got his wisecracking little Korok friend. They're a cool little team. And they, in addition to doing the Warriors kind of stuff that you're doing with them, which, by the way, if you don't know what the format of these games is, you're on a battlefield and you're often fighting against like 100 very weakened enemies all at once. And the whole point of it is doing these crazy, over-the-top, big special attacks that are just wiping out dozens and dozens of people at a time. So like you do like these like kind of mini boss ones, which are the main challenging ones that take a bit of time to take down. But the general enemies that you're seeing, like no one of them can really do you any damage.
Right.
Like they're there for you to just like plow through. Yeah. So you're doing that with these two characters, but then they have their own levels where you're flying around in the sky and it is basically a Star Fox game.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
That is a fascinating twist.
It is bizarre that is in here for them to have not made a Star Fox game for such a long time. A lot of people want them to do another one. The last one they did, they kind of botched it a little bit. They were trying too hard to put the Wii U gamepad functionality in there, so it didn't really land for people. And then to just kind of randomly chuck this into this other game, it is like it controls and has all of the same kind of hallmarks of how it feels to fly around in a Star Fox game, and it's fucking awesome. You're flying around as this kind of like robot, essentially like robot version of Link. With a fucking smart ass little baby Herman Korok thing riding around on him, giving instructions. It's sick. And just because also, again, such a good way of using the stuff that is in so much of Tears of the Kingdom takes place in the sky.
Yes.
And rather than it just being like, oh, well, some of the battlefields will just be on those floating islands.
Right.
It's like, no, let's find a reason for you to fly around, because you can do that in Tears of the Kingdom. You can make a little plane.
Well, I mean, fucking take the code from this game and make us new Star Fox.
I know.
Like, maybe they will. Maybe it is a nice little,
maybe it's a little
testing
test
ground. Yeah.
I mean, I would love to know, like they have to have known, oh, this is kind of like Star Fox.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't think they've exactly put it in there to scratch the itch of Star Fox. But
right.
Again, it is just what I love about this pair of games is taking the blueprint of the stuff that is like really enjoyable and cool from the original game and giving it new context and new fun ways to interact with all the stuff that's there that you remember. Like you pick up items in battles that you use to like, you kind of get like a thing before you head out to a battle where you've got like a camp and you can supply items to the camp and the items kind of boost up different things for you. So like your special recharge rate or the EXP you gain or your movement speed and different combinations of things that you supply will boost up those meters in different ways. But again, like you get to the end of a battle and you've picked up, you end up with so many different fucking ingredients in Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
And they're all here in some form or another. They don't all function in as different ways.
Yeah.
You can do the fuse abilities thing is one of your special abilities. So you can like assign, if you've got like a moblin horn or whatever, you can assign that to one of your special things. So you'll do a fuse attack with that has its own different special elemental things that it does.
Right.
Like, yeah, literally all of the stuff that is in that in Tears of the Kingdom is represented here in some way. And the way that the setup of the Warriors games is like simple enough that you kind of can lay like anything over the top of it. Fuck, maybe that's what a Simpsons game should be.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay.
You really can find any justification to put any world. I felt this when I was playing Age of Calamity. I don't know if this could ever happen, but it would be so fun if they did a Mario Brothers version of this Mushroom Kingdom world of like you as like Peach and Wario and whoever running around just wiping out thousands of Goombas and like all of the different like almost Smash Brothers abilities that you could give to the characters from that. I would love to see them do some more different versions with this Warriors thing, because I've played these two and I've played the Persona one, but I'm not someone who's particularly like burnt out on the the Warriors genre.
Yeah,
like when a new one comes along with an existing franchise that I'm interested in, I'm like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
I get to run around in the depths. The depths are in this as well.
Fuck yeah.
And so it does have that same thing of when you're choosing missions, you've got the 3 different things to switch between, and some of your missions will be down there and some are like up in the sky and some are on the surface.
Fuck.
And you've got like this map that sort of shows which territories Ganon has taken over. And so you have to like clear missions in them to sort of push his forces back and reclaim the territory, and then be able to do more on the map. If you've been given a thing to do in a little region and you leave it too long, his forces can like take it back over again.
Right.
Yeah, there's a lot for something that is like gameplay wise. It is really simple. It's very button mashy, and there is like a lot of the same enemies, and even when enemies are different, it just is some version of like, okay, equip that thing because that's the weakness.
Right.
Look out for this pattern. Do this. Circle around them. Work the gate. Get their stagger gauge down.
Yep.
Do your weak point smash. You maybe do that a couple times and they're dead. Then you get a notification like, hey, this person up here in this base, they need help. So then you run up there. It is a lot of the same stuff. It feels like the most pure representation of that idea that all games are just like a 30-second loop.
Yeah.
It truly is that.
Yeah.
It is the most like on its sleeve, like maybe the least hidden version of that in a game. It is a lot of the same stuff. So you really do have to be...
The window dressing has got to be pretty fucking good.
You've got to be into the window dressing, and you've got to be... I would say so far in my playthrough, I think I'm like 5 hours in or something, 4 or 5 hours in. It's not been like I haven't died at all. It's not super challenging yet, but it's just enjoyable. It just is fun.
Well, bitch, that's what you want from a good game.
Yeah, I'm rapt to have a version of this that is that runs and looks as good as it does.
Yeah,
and annoyingly, I think that they've done this a couple of times now. The same is true of Pokemon Legends. I wish that they would put a patch for that first one that made it play like this.
Yeah.
And I'm often a defender of Nintendo's practices, but it's kind of hard to view that as anything other than the greed of going, we don't want to make it too easy to play the original one.
Exactly. Buy the new one.
A nice version because we want you to buy the new one.
Yeah.
The Pokemon Legends is the same thing with that first one. I wish they would just give that a frame rate bump up and a smoother res, which I think is, as I would assume, is as simple as just in the back end clicking it, like not having it capped, and like it can get up to that level quite easily. I hope that they do that with both of the originals of these games after enough time of feeling like they've gotten enough juice out of the sales of the new one. Yeah, it is a bit of a shame, but
New one's good.
New one's good. Fun.
Yeah. That reminds me, I have been playing more of Pokemon Legends ZA. And it's fucking fun.
Yeah.
It's probably the most fun I've had. And I said it when we first played it. It's the most fun I've had playing Pokemon since Arceus, and before that, the first generation of Pokemon.
Yeah.
Like, it really is fun. It takes that classic loop and it represents it in a much more modern way.
Yeah.
There are still bizarre limitations and bizarre throwbacks to gaming from like the GameCube era, but as far as a Pokemon game goes, it's the best one to play right now. I'm having a lot of fun.
I was talking to my friend who sits next to me at the studio, and she'd just gotten it, and we were talking about it, and I think we had just done our episode about it of this, and so I was like, a bit on my high horse of like, but they fucking this and they could, and they make this much money from it, and the budget was this, and she just went, yeah, I'm having fun. I've seen that online a lot of like, if you're into Pokemon and you're like a lifer with it, it's like you learnt long ago that it's like you can't care about that stuff because you'll go you'll go crazy if you go into it expecting it to be GTA level detail.
That's it. As long as the Pokemon collecting and battling is good, and the writing isn't mind-numbingly bad, then that's a good Pokemon game.
Maybe one day we'll get a little more from it, but yeah.
Like, obviously, we are aware of the potential there. Even Palworld did a better version of it in some ways, but
and I guess too the annoying, or not the annoying thing, but the thing with the people's complaints of the graphics of it and everything is that, like, it does mean that, unfortunately, not enough credit gets given to how much they've mixed up the formula of the battling, which is, like, huge.
Yeah.
Is a huge shot in the dark from them.
Yeah,
like,
it's so much more
play
fun.
it safe in so many ways, and you would think that if anything was going to be a non-negotiable for them, it would be that it's always got to be turn-based. This always has to be able to be someone's very first JRPG.
Right.
That's basically kind of why it exists, is this very simplified version of assembling a party and all of that. And to have thrown that out the window and completely restrip that is like, that's massive.
Yeah, and it works really, really well. Just maybe someday they could improve all the stuff that we talked about when we reviewed it.
Give it a little more spit and polish.
Yeah, but I think we've spat enough and done enough fucking knob polishing on this episode.
Yeah, that's it. Well, thanks for joining us, folks. Get onto the Patreon if you like the show. If you want to support us, you should just, if you get the show for free every week and you really enjoy that and you think, wow, what a great hour I spent with the boys.
Yeah.
I would argue that alone is worth chipping in $5 onto the Patreon. But if that isn't enough for you, you also get something out of it.
Yeah,
you get a whole other hour of content where we talk about movies and TV shows, music, concerts, life events.
That's right. Some weird fucking shit's happened to us.
Yep.
And we talk all about it. Plus, on that $10 tier, you get the bonus show. You get the monthly special zone where we talk about stuff we think that you and the other person on the show will be interested in. You get a mailbag episode every month. You get the Discord server. And, you keep this podcast going because without your support, we'd have to go fucking work in an office.
Yeah.
And that's the worst thing that anyone could possibly have to do.
Worse than death.
Yeah. But no, it's very much appreciated. We have hundreds of patrons who, are helping this show continue.
Yeah.
It's
so get on there. If you've been thinking about it and you've been putting it off, let this be the sign.
That's right.
That you should finally do it.
And later this week, we're going to talk about the new show Pluribus from Vince Gilligan. We're going to talk about Begonia. There's always shit going on that we talk about.
Thanks for listening, folks. We will see you next week. And as we say here at the end of every episode of Filthy Casuals, unfortunately, we've had to delay this episode to 8:01 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time.
Bye.